Look, I can't lie, guys. If you're in a room with a person that you genuinely know is the Bay Harbor Butcher, and you know that they are there to kill you, and you hand them a knife, you are now the de facto craziest person in the room. Hello, everyone. Terrence here with Hollywood Already Did It. If you haven't already, go ahead, like, share, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, ring that bell below. Anytime we have something, you will be among the first to know. As you can clearly see, I am not home. I am on vacation for Labor Day weekend. However, this Dexter episode released, and I watched it, and there is no way in hell that I am going multiple days without talking about what I just saw. Because damn. The penultimate episode of the first season question mark of Dexter Resurrection is here. It is called Touched by an Angel. Oh, that's a fitting title because we're going to have to pour some out when we get to the end of this bad boy. Picks up right at the end of the last episode, which kind of had to because that scene was so pivotal. But Prater, Dex, and Harrison in a little triangle there at the moment. And Harrison is aware of who Leon is. He's kind of fanboying in this moment. He's giddy like a schoolgirl. And which is going to be the case, which is why I said in the last episode, Leon in this moment can't do anything because he's a public figure. It also helps, though, in this moment, Leon doesn't know that Red's someone else. He knows that Red has a son and knows that that's a lie or something that Red wasn't completely truthful with, but he doesn't know about everything else that Dexter is hiding from him. And so in this, Harrison's sort of giving information to Leon that is kind of blowing up certain aspects of Red's story, and one of them being that he has a son. And so before Dexter could completely shut it down, Harrison reveals that his first name is Harrison and that he works at the hotel, which in the moment doesn't bring up anything, but can sort of bring up, oh, that murder that happened at the hotel may be tied to everything when we get to the end. Dexter asks Predator to step outside, and they do. They are being followed or recorded and taped by Angel, who's off to the side. And then directly in front of the restaurant is Charlie, who's sort of waving at Dex, saying like, "I see you. I'm watching you. I'm on to you." In this moment, though, Leon is more upset that Red isn't forthcoming with all that he has that's within him, like Leon was to Red. He's like, I've been completely and totally honest with you. I've taken my heart out, put it in my hand, and handed it over to you. But I don't feel like you're doing the same to me, and I'm a little upset by that. Because of that, I'm going to be watching you. He says, "Don't worry, I'm not going to blow your cover with Harrison. That's fine. But I do want to eventually have a meeting, a sit down with you, where you can completely put everything that you have still hiding, holding on to. I want you to go ahead and reveal that to me. And until we have that meeting, I'm going to keep a tail on you." Now, in this moment, Leon throws the blame on Charlie. He's like, "Hey, Charlie is the reason why I'm following you. She swears that you are to blame. You're the reason why everything has sort of been falling apart this year. So that is why I'm watching it. My hound dog says that that's something that I'm going to kind of let her off the leash and let her do her thing. This isn't me. This is all on her." Dex is like, "Cool, we can have that meeting, but I'm going to do this one more time." And so he sends another threat to him, like, "Stay away from my son. Anything else, you and I can have a conversation all day long, but don't go anywhere near my boy." So at that point, the Dex goes back into the restaurant and collects Harrison and just tries to get the hell out of Dodge. Leon is paid for everything, but Dex wants no parts of it. He goes out the back door of the restaurant and catches Harrison up in real time about what all has transpired and who Red is to him and who Leon thinks he is. And Harrison, clearly, because he knows who his dad is, isn't too shocked by any of this. It doesn't like set him for a loop. I love that this show has made Harrison just accept, like, oh, my dad does what he does. He kills serial killers. This is his thing now. And the fact that we don't have to watch him go through a whole nother series of him just being like, "Oh my God, Dad, what are you doing? Why are you killing?" And the seeing like, "Oh, you're in your element. I get it. You found a cabal of killers and you start wiping them out. Cool, you did what you did. But now it's coming back home to roost. So am I in danger? Like, are we in trouble?" And Dex's like, "No, they're following me. They only want me. But I'm going to need to keep you a little bit closer, keep an eye on you, and make sure that you're safe." So as they're talking and walking, they make their way to a subway where Dex gets on and says, Harrison, I need you to go about life and work as you normally would. Go to the hotel, go to work, and I'm going to go get to work. So Angel is following them the whole time. And so he gets onto the subway with them, but Dex is like, cool, I'm going to take off in case anybody's following me. And he slips out while the doors close. Angel doesn't have enough time to get out when the doors close. And so he's stuck on the subway with him. Not sure really what the next thread for him to kind of move on towards. And he looks at the photo that he took of Dex with Leon. He, because he's coming from Miami, has no idea who Leon Prater is. And so he's like, who the hell are you? And what is Dex why is he around you? So that's his sort of last ditch effort that he is hanging on to, which is going to lead him into a very precarious situation at the end of this episode. An important piece that I think is going to come back in the next episode, which is how Harrison makes his way to Leon's mansion. But he does get an offering from his friend / employee who he gave the car to, that he found a gig to do some catering and some stuff for a high dollar amount at Leon's mansion for the gala. And he asked if he's in. And at that point, Harrison's like, no, because my dad said I should not go anywhere near him. I'm going to stay on this side of town. So no, I'm going to avoid that. The man's like, well, I'm going to keep you in mind, but let me know. Before he can get to work, though, his boss comes down and says, hey, you got a request to go up to this room. They've requested you for room service. You're on the clock for them. He goes up, and it's Charlie. And then Charlie locks him in the room and wants to have a conversation with him. Now, this is a cool little directing device that they've done. We see Harrison come out of that conversation rattled. Then he gets on the phone with his dad to tell him what happened in the room. So I'm going to give you what actually occurred in the room, sort of in real time, because somebody got on me about like me being out of order, but I do it because I want the scene to sort of be complete before I move on to the next thought. But just for this, that is why I'm doing that, because there's a directing device that they sort of use. But this happened where Harrison was telling Dex in real time what took place in that room with Charlie. Charlie's whole thing is like, I just want to know why you have a different, because she looked up Harrison and then saw it was Harrison Morgan from work at the hotel, and then said, like, I want to know why you have a different last name than Schmidt. To which Harrison has to sort of think on his feet, and quickly comes up with the idea like, hey, I got my name from my mother, who I was with for years because my dad abandoned me. So I took Hannah's last name and he abandoned me at 5. Dex assures Harrison, because Harrison's kind of freaking out, like, did I mess up anything? Am I blowing up your spot? And Dex like, nope, you did everything correctly. You're fine. And he reassures him, like, I won't abandon you again. And Harrison's quick to be like, well, I love that you're saying that, but you can't really assure me so much when your world is collapsing in on you and there are serial killers and very powerful men and women coming after you. Harrison continues on in the Charlie situation, says, hey, I found my dad. I hunted him down and found him via a letter that he wrote to me from New York. And that's how I realized that he was in New York, because it seemed a little odd that he could hunt and find Schmidt so easily when Schmidt's so far off the grid. The story wasn't lining up, so he had to add the element. And everything that he's doing in this story that he's feeding to Charlie has a bit of truth to it, which makes the lie a little bit easier to sell, and for the other person to sort of buy it. Like, there's all truth to it, so it doesn't come off as if it's complete and total BS. Harrison tells Dex that it ended with Charlie getting my phone number because she refused to that wasn't a no from her. And then Dex asks, okay, cool, well, did you leave anything behind? And Harrison was like, just some things here and there. Dex clearly doesn't want to rattle Harrison any more than he already did. He assures him again he did a great job, but in that he did leave DNA behind, which is a bit of an issue. That means Dex has to make sure that he gets to that scene to verify that Harrison's going to be clean and going to be okay. Because Harrison left the DNA behind, Dexter wants Harrison to come stay with him. So he's like, when you get off your work, when you get off your shift, come to my house, stay here with me. They don't know where I live yet. To make this work, though, Dex needs to go speak to Blessings, who he's still on bad terms with. So he goes in and he apologizes, and a forgiveness session happens. They hug it out. much to Dex not liking to be touched a lot of the times. They hug it out. And then Dex asks, like, hey, I got a big favor to ask. Can you, when his shift is over, can you go over to the hotel and pick up Harrison? It would mean a great deal for me. And Kate Blessing's like, yeah, I'll treat him as if he's my own son. So everything is smoothed over with them. It's good. They're fine. Dex gives Harrison the heads up. And in that, he then asks, like, hey, can you give me some information about a guest at your hotel? And so he gets Charlie's information and he finds out where Charlie is living. And so Dex has to do a little bit of intel on Charlie. Now he's doing it in red get up in the event that Charlie does show up. Probably he's like, I need to at least look the part so I'm not throwing off this ruse that I still have going. But he gets there and he's going through things and he sees that Charlie was a fought for the country and has silver medals. Like, it's basically a decorated military officer. He also sees that she has taken the print from Harrison, which immediately prompts Harry to pop up. He's like, this bitch is playing with you. Like, what are you going to do? And Dex is like, well, Harrison has been so far off the grid for the last few years that nothing is going to pop. He doesn't have a record. He's not in the system. This isn't going to be a big deal. But still, I need to get this chick in check. So then he continues looking through the house and tries to keep finding things. And he eventually finds that Charlie has a mother who is ill. And it's like, cool, I found the button that I can push. And he leaves. And then he goes and meets Charlie, who is picking up flowers for her sick mom. And he does the red thing in the backseat of the car. She gets into the front side, and then he puts that wire around her neck and threatens her and says, "You guys keep effing with my son, and I told you to leave my damn son alone. And Leon and you are reneging on that promise. And because you are the person who's doing it, I'm coming after you." But he's telling her of all the things that are in her house and in her life and then about her mother. So verifying that, like, I've been to your place. I've been inside your home. I know where you live. She's quite rattled. She's a little freaked out. And she is saying that I need you to understand that all the things that I'm doing, the gun on the table to sort of coerce and threaten Harrison to sort of rattle him and all that stuff, that was coming from Leon. Like, I didn't put that into motion. Those are orders that were given to me via him. He pays for everything. He pays for my mom's care. She's been sick for years, and she was supposed to be gone at least 8 years ago, and she's still here, all thanks to him delivering the money and giving her the best care that could possibly happen. So while she is doing that, I'm his muscle. So anything that I'm doing is coming via proxy from him. It's when Dexter realizes, crap, you're not the person I need to go after. I need to go after Prater because he's the one who we had a man-to-man conversation and he reneged on that. I need to go. He's the one. Let me bring him down. And so he mistakenly, but he lets Charlie go because she's not the one that he really needs to go after in this. It's important that Charlie, before she's let go, does express to Dex that Prater keys in on everybody's weakness. Like, he finds the weakness and it exploits it. It's, for me, it was my mom. For you, clearly, it's your son. Like, he pushes down on that button. Happened a little bit earlier. The young lady who was designing his stage. The reason why he switched the subject so quickly to "How's your mom?" was because I've done things to help your mom, and I can stop that at any point in time. So it's his way of controlling the narrative, being in complete control. His whole thing, his shtick is saying, no, I've got the power now. I am in control. I've got the power now. And some of that might be because he's of the stature that he is. Also because his parents were taken away from him and he had no way to sort of stop that. So this is his way of just sort of regaining power in the world. Then we get our first look at Olivia and Wallace for this episode. And Dexter has sort of rung a bell in Wallace's head, and with the theory about the splatter and the hook, she's now gone down that rabbit hole. It's like Dexter Morgan might have been onto something, and what's important is that was enough of a seed for her to sort of believe Dexter at face value and be like, oh, he might be onto something, to sort of then kind of take him at his word on some other things and make sort of what Angel is giving seem much more asinine and crazy. They have asked Angel to come to the precinct for a chat. And in that, Wallace lets Angel know, like, I know that you're not a cop anymore. And you've been breaking several federal laws over the last few weeks, parading around and pretending to be a police officer. We can have you arrested on several federal counts, but I'm going to give you the time to get the hell out of New York. You got a day. If you are still here by tomorrow, we're going to arrest you. And that, sir, is a promise. And Angel tries to defend himself a little bit, saying, like, oh, Dexter, he's got in your head. He's done this thing. He has a way of sort of always hooking in and smiling and making you feel like he's your best friend. And then all of a sudden you realize that he's the last person left in the room and everybody that you care about is dead. He's just like, you can't let him sort of ingratiate himself into you, but they're not hearing it. They're like, you have lied to us. The person who's ingratiating themselves into all of this right now is you. You're doing everything that you say Dex is doing to everybody else. You're doing that to us. And he's just seemingly be going down the rabbit hole where he's hit the point of no return. He is there's no leaving New York for him. But before he leaves that precinct, he is stripped of his badge, so he can't use that to sort of get into places the easy way anymore. But he's like a dog on a bone, so he goes back to his phone again and he looks at that photo of Leon, which means that is he's got to find out more information about who that is. So Dex arrives home and he's hearing a female's voice in his house, and he's concerned that Charlie may have found out where he is. But he gets in there and it's Harrison and Gigi fooling around, having a good time, having some good times with the help of Blessing's very stocked Uber ride or ride share. Gigi and Dex share a bit of a moment because Harrison's bigging up his dad. And you can tell there's a proud moment, pride that sort of is happening. Like, hey, my girl wants to be like you, Dad. Can you give her some pointers? Like, but there's pride in showing her off to him, and vice versa. And then they decide, like, hey, we don't really want to be here for the night because we were kind of in a mood and we thought you might be out for a while, Pops. Is it all right if I go stay at Gigi's place? And Dex like, that's fine. That shouldn't be a problem. And then in private, they have sort of a convo where they're like, look, you should be fine there. It shouldn't be an issue. She doesn't know where I live, but she especially doesn't know where Gigi lives. So just get over there when you're there, order food via a delivery app. Don't go out to get it, but just stay inside. Don't leave, which I feel like he is absolutely going to leave once he realizes that he can't get in contact with Dexter anymore. This is why Dex should have killed Charlie. Charlie returns to Prater. Look, no matter what Dex said in that threat, it was more so, cool, I'm not going to go after Harrison. Not, you should stay away from Prater because her mom is still sick. She's still going to return to them, and she does. And she just delivers everything that Red said to her. Now, in this moment, they still believe he's Red. And so you can see Leon sort of start geeking up, like, oh my God, you survived a serial killer. You survived the Dark Passenger. Like, you lived to tell a story about it. Like, you are a person of rarefied air. There's not many people like you. And then he's like, well, if he didn't kill you, like he let you go. If he killed you, I have a problem. But he didn't kill you. So I'm fine. I still have the power. I am still in complete and total control. He's an apex predator who lashed out and sort of gnarled and showed his teeth because of what we did to his son. That's fair. We knew that was on the table. And Charlie's like, well, hold on. Why are you using me as bait? Like, that shouldn't have been, I should not have been. And Charlie's like, and Leon's like, shut up. Stop talking. He's like, this is a warning to me. This has nothing to do with you. This is sort of a warning to Chinjack to me. He still wants to play. He still wants to play this game, and we're gonna play it with him. Charlie tries to talk, and Leon's like, hold on, how's your mom? How's your mom? Anytime that somebody tries to question or combat Leon, who he has sort of a thumb on, he completely reminds him of like, hey, how's your sick mom? How's your dying mom? How's your brother? Remember all that money I gave you? How are they doing? And this is sort of a recurring theme for him. And I have a feeling when it is all said and done and Dex sort of gets a leg up to kill Leon, Charlie is going to let him. Charlie might get the drop on Dex, but I feel like Charlie is going to be like, hey, if I can get this out of my head or out of my way, then maybe this is for the best. Then Dex calls Prater. And he says, that meeting that you wanted to have, let's have that now. Like you and I, let's have that mano a mano talk. It's at that point the Predator's like, well, I see you got to my girl Friday. She's a bit overzealous with her rules and following up on things, but it won't happen again. I've got her now. So it's clear that Leon is still trying to push all of this on Charlie, even though Charlie, in her most honest moment, said, no, this all came from Leon. I think Dex in this moment clearly believes Charlie than whatever the stuff that Leon is giving. And Leon continues to say how truthful and how open he's been with Dex, but clearly that's not the case. And so there's continuous lying, and who lies better and who lies more is still happening in this mano a mano sequence between the two of them. But Dex asks to meet. Prater's like, cool, I have a couple of hours before my gala tomorrow. Why don't you come in the back way, up the back elevator, and we will have our conversation. And Dex is like, cool, can it just be the two of us? Because right now I don't trust Charlie at all, and I'd rather it just be the two of us. Now, in this moment, Leon, thinking he's red, thinks nothing of it, but Dex knows, I'm gonna kill this mother. This is it. This is gonna be my D-Day. So Leon agrees. Charlie won't be there. We're all set. We get to the next morning. An angel is snooping around the mansion of Prater right before the gala. He goes up to the door and tells one of the security guards, they're like, hey, look, your boss is in danger. He's in a lot of danger. My man's not really hearing it. Angel tries to reach for his badge. He doesn't have it anymore, so he's not coming off as a cop. He's just coming off as a crazy person spouting off nonsense. And so when they try to rough him up a little bit, he punches one of the security guards, and then a couple of others come up, and he starts roughing them up. Angel's getting the better of them until Charlie comes in and just puts them in a rear naked chokehold. And it's kind of like, okay, you keep saying that someone's trying to kill my boss. Can you tell me more information? And so then the next thing we see is Angel gives that information to Leon and says that, hey, the person in that photo, how do you know him? He's like, yeah, that's Red Schmidt. He's like, no, that's Dexter Morgan. And I used to work with him for the Miami Police Department. Damn it, Angel. It's at this point that I also know that like Angel is going to get. I knew where the next piece was. Now I didn't know how it was going to end, but I knew that Angel was going to end up on a table. Like I could see that part happening. And so I was like, oh, you just put yourself in a very dangerous situation. You think you're helping to save this man, but you're putting yourself in danger because he idolizes serial killers. He doesn't know Prater's other side. And he's coming at it like, hey, I'm saving your life because this man is coming to kill you. Terrible, terrible planning on Angel's part. So then we see Dex prepping, putting the fingerprint on so he can go back up the elevator as Schmidt. Got his dark passenger uniform on. He's feeling good. He's like, yep, this is the day. Got my knife. I'm going to stab this dude in the chest and all is going to be fine. He does the thing, gets up the elevator. Red greets him, is like, it's good to see you. Dex goes through his like, I've been waiting for this moment for quite some time. And then they start heading back towards his vault because Leon's like, well, based on us having conversations and kind of going over some more specifics of what it is that you do, let's be in a more private situation. You start making their way back there, and then Leon drops his true name. He's like, Dexter Morgan. And at that point, Dex freezes a little bit, and Charlie arrives and puts a gun to the back of his head. And they then move into the vault, and Leon is like, I should have known something. Something felt odd to me when you looked at those slides. It didn't click to me now. But now that Angel has told me that you are the Bay Harbor Butcher, that makes so much more sense. All of this makes sense. And you could see in Dex's eyes, like, wow, Angel, Jesus Christ, why would you tell him that? Like, being the cop, being Dexter Morgan, all is fine. But once you told him that I'm the Bay Harbor Butcher, you've set yourself up for death because he's going to want me to kill you. Like he doesn't know that this man idolizes these serial killers. Now he's probably getting a better idea of it now because it's in a vault with nothing but trinkets and trophies of serial killers. Angel's taped up on the table, on the kill table. It's not the way that Dex would do it, clearly, because Leon was never in those rooms, but he is taped up and taped across pretty well. So at that point, the Leon is like giddy. He is giddy that he's meeting the true Bay Harbor Butcher. He's like, man, it's got to feel a type of way that like all of those kills have gone to Dokes. But maybe we can do this together. Like maybe Maybe I can be your benefactor. Like, how about this? Like, I know every single serial killer across the globe. How about we do this yearly? I bring them in, and we have a sort of a dinner for schmucks, and you kill them. You take them off, and I sort of just feed them to you. We can do this. Um, and it's at that point that Dex asks, like, "Well, what happens to Angel?" And Prater's like gives him a knife. They have already disarmed Dexter at this point. They've taken his gun. They've taken his knife. He's completely armed. Nothing. No weapons. Prater at this moment then hands him a knife, a killing his knife, the de facto killing knife, and then says, "Well, here's your price of admission." So basically, killing Angel in this moment gives me a leg up on you, gives me a ability to put my thumb on top of you to keep you in control, uh, and then sort of allow us to sort of make this great pact together. And Dex is like, okay. So he goes around to the table. He's thinking in his head, his inner monologue is like, Angel Batiste has stalked and hunted me and stalked and hunted my son for the last time. But then he starts thinking like, well, hold on. Batista and I, at one point in time, were friends. We were really good friends. I'm going to free him. And hopefully in this, he comes to this realization that he and I together could be great partners to get out of this situation, versus whatever the hell that I could do to him. Like, I could, if I'm the Bay Harbor Butcher and I did this, he would be right. I'm going the opposite way. So then he cuts the tape off, frees Angel, but then Angel's done. Angel has seen enough. He has been hurt enough by Dex. Um, he starts choking Dexter out and putting him to the ground. And it's like, no, we're not partner up. You're not my friend. You've destroyed and broken everything that I love. Um, my friendship with Dokes, my friendship with my wife, Deb, hell, even my friendship with you. Everything that I had in life has been taken away because of you, the Bay Harbor Butcher version of you. So I'm choking your life out. And in that moment, Dex is fine with that. Dex is like, if I'm going to go, nah, this he should be the man to do it. Like, he should be the person to do this. Um, and then you see Prater unload a clip into Angel, to the back of Angel. And then Angel, and then Prater and Charlie head out of the vault while the vault is closing. Does a little wave to Dex, and then it's closed, and he's locked in there. Because remember, much earlier in the season, we learned that you're not getting out of there from the inside. Once it's closed, it's closed. And so then Dex goes back to check on Angel, who's dying. There's no recovery from this, but not quite dead. Probably one of the most heartfelt and gut punching pieces that's existed in all of Dexter. And you kind of need all the lore and history of Dexter to sort of get to this point, because Angel's relationship, even with Original Sin, which is now canceled, their friendship and relationship was genuine. And so to get to this point, but Dex goes to check on Angel, and Dex wants him to know that, hey, look, I know you keep blaming me for the Maria and the Dokes killings, but even though you're on the right track, I am the Bay Harbor Butcher. I didn't kill Maria and I didn't kill Dokes. And it's at this point that we sort of realized that Batista kind of knew that already, because they don't fit his code. And I think he knew that, like, there's no way that the way that Dexter normally does things, he didn't outright kill them. But what he does say is like, look, no, they died because of you, because of the people in your orbit, because of the things that you're doing, the things that you've done. They all died still, just like I'm dying right now. This is still all your fault. Which is something we've always said. Like, yeah, he didn't directly kill them, but they are dead because of the things that he sort of has put into place. Because of that, and because he knows that, like, Angel's not wrong in that, Dexter comes out quite honestly, Angel, I'm sorry. And then Angel hits him back with like a last word that, like, that's it. Nothing else. He says, Dexter Morgan, fuck you. And then he's gone. And you can tell the guttural scream that is released, and just the way that Dexter reacts to that, like, that hurt him. Because Angel, even though Angel was giving him shit this entire season, he cared a great deal for Angel, more than he did for Dokes, because he didn't have the long-standing relationship with Dokes. Like Angel was one of the first people that were in that department when he first got there, and so yeah. And now that's the end of the penultimate episode, and it is a doozy. We got a lot going on, a lot going on, and you're saying goodbye to one of the greatest characters that exists in Dexter lore. So bravo, Angel. Fitting conclusion. But you definitely went down a rabbit hole that, like all the other people that are great characters in Dexter's orbit, while he did not kill you died because he was around, because he exists. And now we're in a situation where Dexter is in that vault by himself with the gala happening. So the gala is going to be happening in real time. Wallace and her partner are going to be at this gala. And I think by some way, Harrison is going to end up there as well. Now, what that all does, who knows what? I think Leon has to now put two and two together that Harrison is probably the one responsible for the Ryan situation. But yeah, we're in the end game now, folks. It is about to get rough, and I'm excited. You can tell I'm on vacation and I'm talking about this, so I had to come in and chat about Dexter Resurrection. What did you guys think about this episode? Did Angel go out fittingly? Was this a fitting conclusion to Angel Batista? And once again, a major character that means a lot to Dexter's life died, but not because he killed them, but he's directly responsible for it. What did you guys think about this episode? Leave your thoughts and comments in the comments below. If you haven't already, you can follow us on X at HollywoodADI. You can hit us up on email at HollywoodAlreadyDidIt@gmail.com. We also have a podcast with the same name. That's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere that plays podcasts. We're there. And like always, I got my ticket. You got yours.